Hey, Mingy, how about that? Philly, I hit the record button and we got it recorded over here. Hey, good fucking rowboat. I just
That
realized
face.
you're in
Hey.
you're in a rowboat that's not moving. I'm John Mulrooney. That's Phil Iazetta over there. Today is what's today? Wednesday or Thursday, dude?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's
It
just the
doesn't matter.
second week
It's
of his presidency, John. That's all that matters. I've lost track of days.
King Donald. It's February 5th, 2025 at 9:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Jesus, Mary, and the shepherds. The world is going batshit crazy, Philly. It's
Yesterday,
going crazy now.
that Netanyahu stuff yesterday was nuts, wasn't it? The way he pulled the chair out for him and pushed it in and the cue drop and whoa, we own Gaza.
So amazing. Now I know people are going batshit crazy over this, but as soon as I saw the move to offer the Palestinians to go elsewhere, which I thought was very interesting. They've been getting their ass kicked over there. They're undefended and they just keep getting pounded, seems like. And he's saying we're going to move in, take over, and what either protect them while they move elsewhere or maybe rebuild their own. I don't know, but you and I both believe, and I think it's accurate as per the Q drops. Q has been saying all along, Israel will be saved for last. If he moves in right up next to Israel, he's going to shut down their bullshit.
Oh God,
Right?
all those rumors, everything, it's all going to come to a head now. This is great. You know, all these
Yeah.
things they've been starting the shit all these years. You got a new sheriff now. Now we're going to go over there. Oh, fine. You guys want to fight? Okay, why don't you fight with someone your size or three times the size of both of you? So if you don't both pipe down, I'm going to cut off both your arms. How you going to box each other? I mean, it's like he's
your,
unbelievable.
your arm's too short to box with God, but we fight on,
Oh,
we
don't start that
fight
crap again.
on,
Oh,
we
what a
fight
great day. John,
we
that
fight on.
USAID, huh? That USAID turned out to be a big slush fund for those guys.
All right, so I just sent you
Unbelievable.
a share screen. Yeah, can you see it?
Oh, those are all my emails.
I know you can see it though, right? I know. So what? You sent the USAID thing in here somewhere. Oh, that right here,
Oh, that one's
USAID
great.
Cuba.
That one's fantastic.
All right,
Start
you
with
want to
that
start here?
one. Yep.
All right. Here we go. USAID and I Soros. Let's see.
Everybody, turn the volume way up and make this big the screen too. Great
Stand by
piece.
Al
one.
Qaeda leader, and they are in a
Look
U.S.
at that. It's
aid
right there.
tent. Look who signed the check for the initial $200,000 payment to the Islamic Relief Agency, the United States Agency for International Development. The more you look into U.S. aid, the more shocked you will become. U.S. aid was running a top secret espionage program to undermine Cuba and push people to dissent. Now, let me show you how much money we're talking about. It included a $1 billion sovereign loan guarantee, $320 million in general assistance. So where else beside the NIH has money been coming from? By far, the largest donors are from USAID and the Department of Defense. Judicial Watch found that the U.S. State Department and USAID had been giving millions to the Macedonian arm of George Soros's Open Society Foundation. What for? To train youth movements. So USAID, and those are always, they're known by anybody who pays attention as CIA fronts. This is, the USAID comes into a country, they start doing things, and next thing you know, we've got a revolution on our hands because that's the CIA.
Wow, these scumbags.
And
These.
you got to love the Trump masterclass move to the CIA. Hey, anybody who wants to retire now, we'll give you 8 months of free pay. Bye bye.
Now I know earlier we were talking when I was at the gym, and you said that this the CIA has been collapsed completely. That they take it all down. Has it been gutted? Is it their name only? Do we know?
I have no,
Okay,
you know how he works. He throws these
I know.
little nuggets out there, telling everybody, look, if you want a severance package, we'll give you 8 months. What does that tell you? companies closing when they're offering severance packages around.
Yeah, dude, that's his MO. He seeds the narrative, and it's not my analogy, but it's a great one. He plows the field, plants the seed,
Yep.
and he lets the fertilizer be the bullshit that everybody is arguing over to draw attention to it. And before you know it, where what's that old? If you had the faith of a mustard seed, well, he put down the seed of an oak tree, and it suddenly grew up in their face. While Chucky Schumer is holding up an avocado and a Corona in front of the camera because of Super Bowl Sunday, going, "Hey, do you really want to pay extra for
About
your
Super Sunday,
Hey,
right?
hey, Phil, you want to pay extra for your guacamole and your cerveza?"
Who, like, honestly, John, you live in New York. Do you think he really has been elected all of these years?
No,
I mean, really, you could see. I don't see New Yorkers being that stupid. I lived in New York myself
no.
for several years. I never, ever would have voted for Chuck Schumer. Never did.
I don't think I don't think most people are that stupid. I think they're just asleep. They don't know that there's an alternative. They don't know they've been tricked. What's that old I think it's a Mark Twain quote. It's much harder to convince someone they have been tricked than to actually trick them. That's pretty easy, actually, to
I
trick
would
them.
love to see Chuck Schumer on an assembly line or working at McDonald's like Trump did. He wouldn't be able to handle it. I don't even think the guys. Have you seen his wife, John? Have you
That's a
seen
dude. We
his
spoke
wife?
about that. It's a dude.
I mean, come
That's a
on.
fucking dude.
This whole
You know what?
thing is a sham. It's a
Let me,
sham.
yeah, let me pull that up for just a second. Stand by one. Let me get to Chuck Schumer's
You
wife.
look at the taxes, you look at what these guys have been able to do, Elon and his crew in just a couple of weeks, what they've been able to accomplish is so unbelievable. And we've been our whole lives lied to about
Yep,
everything.
every
Everything.
fucking
You
thing.
know, there are people, so why are our veterans on the streets when they're putting money on trans Taliban members? I mean, they're spending money, billions and billions of dollars just waste, and we have veterans on the street. Look at this pig. That's not a woman.
This,
Get out of here.
what in the fuck
They're
is this?
freaks.
Come
They're
on,
freaks, John.
come on. This is
That's a
not a
dude.
woman.
Looks like
That's
Michael
a
J. Fox, for
fucking,
God's sake.
that's a fucking dude. Look at this here. And what
Yeah.
is that? It's not, and here's what somebody pointed out to me. First of all, look at these arms, okay?
Yeah.
And never mind the arms. This here
The
is it
shoulders.
right. So
Look at the
here's
Adam's
what
apple.
Phil, let me finish. Watch here, and this is what somebody pointed out to me. Generally speaking, a woman's shoulders are about twice the size of her head, approximately. On men, it's approximately three times the size. Okay, look at Chucky. One, two, three. You could put three heads on that shoulder. When they wear stuff like this and cut their hair like that, this is all a misdirection and a deception to make them look differently, to have your eye look up here and not at the proportions here. This one here is very telling. The other thing that's really that you can't it's much easier to hide is that on men the index finger, generally speaking, is longer than the ring finger. That's why the close-ups of Michelle's hands, there's not a lot of them, but when you see them, that's very telling, and you can
Mike,
see that.
please, it's Mike. It's Mike. Now that picture that you
Yeah,
showed about the shoulders, he's
yeah,
wearing a jacket with shoulder pads. That's a tuxedo jacket. That has pads in the shoulders, and it's still not the width of his wife in proportion to the head. That
right.
is such it's come on.
Come
Come on.
on, man. Come
And then
on, man.
but what is it with this? It's so bizarre. I mean, Macron's wife, Obama's wife. Like, just come out. Just who cares?
Did
Who
you see,
cares?
we spoke about this before, but you saw the 100-page quasi cease and desist letter that
Macron's
what's
wife.
her name got that Candace Owens got
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
president of France. Who don't say my wife is a man anymore because that's not good. It was a semi-legal threat, but there was no real threat. It was just like I might do something if you keep talking about this thing that's not good.
Well, he's
And
French.
it was 100 pages long of bullshit, boilerplate and legal speak that sounded like a threat. I'm going to do something. What are you going to do? Like she said, you're gonna come to the United States and remove the First Amendment? Fuck you, Froggy.
Yeah, I mean he's French, John. They threaten a lot. They don't do
Yeah, what are you going, Philly? What are you going to do? You're going to come here. You will take away our croissant,
I
our buffet. Think about what the French have given us, right? They've given us cul-de-sac, which is a dead end,
right.
croissant, which is half a bagel,
Yeah.
and buffet, which means get it yourself.
Well, you forget the statue of the dude that they say is a woman in Liberty Harbor. They
And
gave
you know
us
what's
that too.
interesting? If you look, I know I was watching I watched the first episode of Q for Dummies today. It's really good. If anyone's interested, go on to Rumble and just type in Q for Dummies. It's really
We haven't gone
inspiring
down that
and
wormhole, have we, at the Statue of Liberty's face, right?
well, he was the point I'm making is he opened up his show today, the very first episode of it, and he was talking about the Statue of Liberty. Firstly, that's a dude.
Yep.
Secondly, it's allegedly one of Satan's minions, and someone pointed this out. It's the Statue of Liberty. It's not the Statue of Freedom. And if you look at the base of the statue, the foot is chained to the island. It's on an island. Liberty is something that's given to you by the master of the ship. So it's the Statue of Liberty. Liberty is something you get when the master decides you can go and be free. Until then, you're not allowed to go. That's why you have liberty on a ship. You have liberty literally means freedom of movement. You have unrestricted freedom of movement. Doesn't even literally necessarily mean freedom. It means freedom of movement. So yeah, you can move around, but you still have to do what we say. Just like in this world, which is the matrix that we're in, it's a giant illusion. And the best slaves are the ones that think they're free. And that's been us and still the sleepers and the normies for our whole lives, for sure, and our parents' whole lives.
Yeah. That's the shame. That's the real shame of it. The people that came before us, like our grandparents, they were just part of the system. They never even had anyone shake them like we were shaken and woken up,
Right.
like so to speak. And I
No,
think
they
that's
went
why
along.
yeah, they went along with it. They lived their whole lives in this system that just coincidentally happened to step on their throat every time they just got to move just an inch forward. I mean, it's
What's
sick.
next? What do you like next? You want me to read what you sent me?
Well, stay on the USAID
I'll go back to
because
that.
there's another
Okay,
one I
okay,
sent you. No,
okay.
no, no, not that one. There was another one I sent you with USAID last night that was
Okay.
phenomenal.
All right,
And
stand
then,
by. Trump reporter. Oh, did you see this one with what
oh,
you
that one
sent
was
it to me?
fantastic. Yeah,
That
that
was
one.
great. But hold on, let's see. Uh, 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 Trump reporter, Schumer, blah blah blah.
What is the ship life one? What was that?
Oh, that was an invoice from Corso for they paid me for my expenses. Oh, right here, this one USAID. Okay.
Yes, check that one.
All right, stand by one.
Wow, this guy. Yeah,
It was
this one is
U.S. aid that I fear much more than the CIA, because the U.S. aid is how CIA gets shit done.
USAID is clearly in the job of trying to bring about regime change. It has secret bank accounts, shell companies.
USAID gets $50 billion a year in U.S. taxpayer money. That's a larger overt fund than the CIA has.
USAID perhaps is the new CIA.
Have we ever tried to meddle in other countries' elections?
Oh, probably.
This is not just about over there. This is about here.
They have a process, a system by which they destroy other nations. And they use that same process and system in order to destroy the United States.
It's a plot against our own people.
America, what if I told you that the United States government was acting like the world's Gestapo, using organizations like USAID under the pretense of humanitarian aid to topple governments, install politicians, and orchestrate regime changes in third world countries?
I disagree with that as somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat. Yeah. Not here, but, other places.
Yeah.
These are places that are practically entirely run at this point by the CIA and the U.S. State Department, which is, of course, a CIA front.
USAID provides most of the money.
This isn't a giveaway.
The State Department provides the policy vision.
This makes a difference to people's perception of us. Tricky endeavors, whether it's fighting terrorism,
Al-Shabaab groups in USAID camps,
or narcotics.
Joe Biden's State Department is commanding the Taliban to keep the opium flowing.
Or oppression or resistance to governance.
Those USAID trucks were stopped at the border to Venezuela with fully automatic weapons.
All of those things.
I don't think that's humanitarian aid.
What a difference that makes.
And if we stand for democracy anywhere, we have to stand for it everywhere, including in Guatemala.
Guatemala. What if I told you that USAID, the State Department, and the CIA created a fraudulent political party and then used that
pedophile symbol? Did you see that? Pause that for a second.
Guatemala.
Pause that for a second.
Okay.
Did you go back at that? Isn't that eerily similar to the pedophile symbol?
It's hard for me because right now there's another icon across that. I'd have to go back pretty far. Let me see how far back I can go.
Am I allowed to search back? Because if you go back, oh no, I can't.
I don't think so. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Oh, here it is. I can grab it.
On the right, look at that.
I don't know that that's one of the ones
that looks like the Planned Parenthood
close.
Swirl, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's close. Yeah. Is this supposed to be a womb with a? Is that what this is supposed to be in here? What is that?
You know their symbols. That looks to me. Yeah.
Movimiento Semilla. Movimiento Semilla. Yeah, this looks, and it's a 6, dude. It's a fucking 6. Oh my God. You motherfuckers. It's a 6.
And you see how quick it flashes by. People don't even realize it. My eye, I don't know why I'm seeing all this stuff quicker, but I'm seeing their shit.
Son of a bitch. It's a 6. And I always thought this meant aid, like foreign aid, and it means International United States Agency for International Development. These cocksuckers. All right, let's keep watching.
Yeah, keep going. This is great.
Just fast forward
an election, so they could install a list of CIA-controlled politicians who would continue to allow them to run the world's largest child trafficking network out of Guatemala.
Nothing to do with that. Correlation, not causation. That is absurd.
They didn't deny it, which means that they admitted it.
This is no question, a political shocker in Guatemala.
The U.S. government, the Biden administration, helped cover up voter fraud.
Why Guatemala? Why not some other country?
Guatemala is concerned about child trafficking, the NGOs that are trafficking the children.
Jill Biden was the chairman of the board of Save the Children.
You guys just raided Save the Children.
Guess who stepped in? The State Department, U.S. Embassy, and USAID. Another coincidence?
America. What if I told you that DHS, under the direct orders of Alejandro Mayorkas, would create a public-private partnership with Mexican cartels, and that HHS, under the direct orders of Xavier Becerra, would create a public-private partnership with NGOs like Save the Children and Southwest Key Programs. And in this quasi-public-private partnership, they would use your tax dollars to fund the world's largest international child trafficking operation.
As to whom we know where they are, that is outside the responsibility of the Department of Homeland Security.
This is nothing but lies. Nothing but lies.
Secretary Mayorkas, he acts like none of this ever happens.
It's his policies that caused over 500,000 of children being smuggled in this country.
And he also knew who to blame.
HHS places those children.
That's on you.
Was that a question to me?
Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club as an address? You shrug your shoulders and then send another batch of kids out to sponsor.
Human trafficking bust at an egg farm. Federal prosecutors call it modern-day slavery.
Of course, we investigate cases of trafficking.
Another lie.
That guy needs to go. He needs to be one of the first ones that gets a one-way ticket to Gitmo.
He's got. I don't know how you can watch this. Forget about being an American because they're doing it in our name, which is doubly infuriating. But any human, how you can watch this and not rise up against it. It's shocking to me. That's what's so frustrating to me going through this process. You know it too. Trying to tell people what the hell is going on and have them wanting to dismiss you, but then to outright attack you for it. That's the hardest part to take, especially when it's friends and family. Very difficult. I know it's been really frustrating.
John, you talk about frustrating, though, when you talk about Trump derangement syndrome and these people, they don't even want to hear it. They don't even care what's going on.
No, they don't care.
If you show them the whole movie Sound of Freedom, if you sat through that movie and watched it and didn't get a little curious about what's going on, and then look at the parallels, look at the tattoos on Hunter Biden's back, look at Joe Biden's chin, look at what Mayorkas is doing. If you're not just a little bit curious, you don't belong.
I was working with a guy on a ship about a year ago. If I had remembered his name, I would have mentioned it. He calls himself a comic, but you're not even a human being. I mentioned to him about some of this stuff, and of course, laughed, blew me off, dismissed me, and actually said to me, as long as the signature on the bottom of the check clears my money, that's all I care about.
Did you
That's
read
all I
the
care about.
line on the bottom of the check that's
It's
above
a
the
dotted line. It says pay to bearer, pay to bearer. It's not even a line. That's why they say sign on the dotted line. It's not even a line. It says pay to bearer, pay to bearer.
Well, that's what you're dealing with when he said line. I mean, the guy doesn't even like people.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And we had I had a bet with him, and he was so arrogant and so dismissive. We were talking. I didn't bring up politics. We were walking somewhere on the in one of those Caribbean shitholes, and we were talking about the election coming up. It was like I said, it was a little over a year ago, and I said, well, something to the effect of, well, when Trump's back in office, and he goes, you think? And I went, no, I guarantee it. And he goes, are we going to take a bet? I go, I'll bet you whatever you want. And I forget what it was, dinner and money. I don't know what, but it's like, yeah, dude, if I see you again, you're going to owe me whatever it is. And he and this other guy that jumped in on the conversation, this dude was from Canada. They both were like, let's come over here and we'll talk and leave that idiot over there. Now I want to go back to the guy, especially the one in Canada, going, and maybe in another year you might get to vote for our boy.
No, I wouldn't have even given him the benefit of the doubt. I would have said, what are you laughing about? He's your president too.
He's your president. Yeah, hockey stick sucking, maple syrup drinking jigger,
Do you
maple
really
leaf
think,
wearing schmuck.
do
Yeah,
you
you
really
got a
think,
fucking leaf on your flag. That's your flag, a leaf. You
well,
fucking
I'm not
freaks.
taking anything away from the Canadian people because they're good
Yeah, we are.
people. No, I'm just saying
We're the ugly
Trudeau.
Americans.
Trudeau, there's no way. You've met Canadians. You've been to Canada. I've been to Canada, met a lot of good Canadians. There's no way they voted for him either. That was another
No.
plant. He was
And
planted.
there's no way that the people of Mexico voted for a Jewish chick, a Jap. It's not happening. It didn't happen. You fell off your rowboat. It didn't happen. It didn't fucking happen. Come on, you gonna argue that with me?
That was the biggest joke in the like. I still can't believe that they're trying to say that this woman's the president of Mexico.
All right, what's next? I got Clinton Epstein, Trump takes control,
Oh,
must
Clinton
watch.
Epstein. Clinton Epstein. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Let's see.
There's a lot of stuff we've seen
He
before,
was on the
but
plane,
now
not only
Pam,
on the plane
let me
a
just
couple
set it up
times,
quick.
multiple
Pam
times.
Bondi, was confirmed yesterday.
Pam Bondi was confirmed. That is correct. Yep.
Right. Now, Pam Bondi was, I should say, the attorney in the state of Florida when all the Epstein crap was going on, and that sets it up because this is a lot of the stuff she said. So now that she is the AG, this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay. Stand by one.
Traveled internationally with Jeffrey Epstein, and he was on the plane called the Lolita Express because it supposedly had a bed in there where Jeffrey Epstein had young girls. He has been a friend of his, a continuing friend of his for years and years. Contrast that with Donald Trump.
Dude, she looks good.
Well,
you said she's 60. You're right. The only thing that's weird is these like alien bones here. I don't know. She looks like something out of Star Trek, though, doesn't she? She needs a couple more bones up here, and I'll tell you, she needs a bone right over here.
Oh, right there, Andrew
Who hasn't
Silverstein.
spoken to him in many years, over a decade, after he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for bad behavior. So that's the difference there. And I think Americans see the two-tier justice system. But, we don't know.
All the broads in his cabinet are hot. They're all hot. There's not one. Well, the chief of staff is, but you don't want anyone trying to bang her while she's handling your business.
No, they're saying Clinton has not been to his private island, but he has traveled all over the world with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know why AG Garland and the Justice Department are so quiet on this tonight. You know, they're out there labeling parents domestic terrorists, yet they're...
Did you know he worked as a math teacher? He got a job at the age of 21.
Yes.
You know about
Bill
this?
Barr's dad. Yep.
Bill Barr's dad hired him to be the math teacher in this exclusive girls' school. Hello?
An exclusive all-girls school.
All-girls school. It's such an incestuous little shithole that they transit through.
They're saying nothing about this, and these documents were so slow to come out. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country, and Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for 20 years where she belongs. And if people in that report are still fighting to keep their names private, Sean, they have no legal basis to do so unless they're a child, a victim, or a cooperating defendant by some chance against some potential case against Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think Mark Garagos, as a great criminal defense attorney, will back that up as well.
I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Once he releases that list, it is so over, John.
Yeah, I agree. Just as a housekeeping note, I just saw I signed up for the pro version of Zoom.
Yes.
But it's still telling me that I only got 9 minutes left to this meeting. So I thought we had more, but that's okay. We still got some good stuff. Within this 9 minutes, is there something you wanna absolutely hit in your in the things you sent me?
Oh yeah, every single one. So let's speed it up. Let's just talk faster.
All right, okay, Phil. All right, stop talking and let's get to it. Stand by one. Stand by one, motherfucker.
There's a lot of good meatballs in this one.
All right, Trump's takes control. Here we go.
This was great. Yeah. This was like we were talking about the Thank you, even better.
Mr. Prime Minister, you are talking tonight about the United States taking over a sovereign territory.
Yeah.
What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a
Watch the way he just cuts them off.
There, redevelopment? And Mr. Prime Minister, do you see this idea as a way to expand the boundaries of Israel and to have a longer peace, even though the Israeli people know how important that land is to you and your citizens, just as the space is inherited by the Palestinians as well?
I do see a long-term ownership position.
Jumped right in.
I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister.
He just took it clear over.
About the United States.
He took it. It's just looping again. He just took it clear over. She asked both of them, and he said, "Oh, it's long-time ownership."
I love what you said about Bibi. It's right. He can't sit still, this fucking guy.
No. I think he literally just took charge and said, "You're going to go along with it. If you don't, we'll be making conditions out of all of you."
I threw him up a big matzo ball.
Really complaining about Doge and Elon Musk, are you?
Check this out.
You don't seem to care that they found out that they were spending $600 million a year at the Pentagon for sushi. Yeah, sushi.
Good sushi.
They were spending $230,000 a month on the K-Cups, just one brand. It was like fucking whatever the fuck it was. It didn't matter because that's $2,700,000 a year.
Love this guy.
On coffee K-Cups for employees that don't even come into work. So Doge is finding out all these government spends, and everybody is all up in arms like Ilhan Omar about the USAID. That was literally their slush fund where they just pan out money to wherever the fuck they want. Because remember, when they were asked for money,
you see the rabbit?
For 22 years, there was no turndowns. You get asked for anything. You could say, do frogs like drugs? And here's $200 million. I mean, stupid shit like that. And you're not mad that we're out here fucking struggling, complaining about inflation and fucking surviving, and then you're going to say, fuck Elon Musk and fuck Donald Trump because they're starting to do this to save us money? Who even fucking listens to liberals anymore? Did you see the DNC fucking chair fucking voting?
You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on.
My God. They are trying to hold on to this DEI and bullshit thing, dude. They're just never going to win another election again. I mean, the people that are voting for them obviously
They never won an election. They cheated.
need to
That-
fucking
there
go
you
figure
go.
out something with a doctor. So yeah, hooray for Elon Musk. And you liberals need to just let go of this my team's got to win, my team's got to win bullshit, because now everything's just getting stupid. Because Donald Trump's winning. Donald Trump's helping you guys out too.
Yes.
And all you fucking fucked liberal creators on here just making up fucking lies, pretending Donald Trump is losing, when you guys are the losers. You're just reflecting, deflecting, mirroring, whatever fuck that shit's called. Yeah.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself.
And now I got to get back to cooking my meth.
Hey, I agreed with every single thing that he said. Every single thing that he said.
Phil, the internet must know you because
Yes, they do.
half of the emails you sent me, this is what it looks like. And I got to click on this. It looks safe. No, it's not safe. It's from Phil. Hold on. Commander Thor, Val Thor, Valiant Thor. Here we go.
Oh,
Let's see.
this guy. You love this guy.
This guy's great.
I really don't think you're ready for what I'm about to present in this video. And it
Oh,
all
boy.
starts in the most unlikely of places. A place they
This will
want
blow your
us to
mind.
think is nothing but a third world wasteland. But in reality, it's a place fit for a king. Well, maybe not a king, but definitely an angel. 200, as a matter of fact. 200 fallen angels.
Mount Herring. Hurry.
Look at this place. And the sneer.
What is this? Is this a
And while they
AI
create
thing?
propaganda like Borat to keep us
That's
from
real.
knowing who actually lives here and what this place actually is, I figured it out. I figured out
Kazakhstan.
that the top of their pyramid just happens to
Oh
have a
my
secret
God.
meeting chamber with
God.
exactly 200 perfectly aligned seats.
Listen.
200 perfectly aligned seats that just perfectly matches the amount of fallen angels talked about in the Book of Enoch. 200 that just almost perfectly matches the amount of impact craters that, I don't know, could have been caused from heavenly bodies crashing down to Earth. Heavenly bodies whose leader just happens to also be called Lucifer, or the Light Bearer. The Light Bearer whose torch is often celebrated across all of the large cities of the world,
Oh my God.
and whose torch who is oddly placed next to a giant Easter egg. An Easter egg that might actually reveal why eggs are associated with Ishtar, because Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. And maybe this city is also hiding the free energy that they're using, because I've seen these exact buildings associated with the old dirigibles that used to charge from them. But we
Eiffel
haven't even
Tower.
talked about the most interesting thing that I found in this city called Astana, which just happens to be an anagram for the word Satan, and it's just down the road from this pyramid. Or should I say, right down the river from this pyramid. And I'm going to take this time and say, all of this is pure speculation. Obviously, there could be other stories here, but too many of them line up to me. Way too many of them. Especially when you see what I found here. And it's what I started this video with. You look at
Oh,
this,
wow.
and you tell me that doesn't look like some sort of portal. A portal that they might just be using to try to summon some real evil to this place we live. Or maybe even just a prop to propagate their fake summoning of the return of Jesus as a hologram. All I know is there's one thing I definitely know in all of this, is that this movie was created with intention to tell a vision of what this place actually is. Because I would put my money on it that 99% of you have never heard of the city in Kazakhstan called Astana. But you guys know I'm just kidding about all this. I don't really think 200 fallen angels are the actual controllers of this place we live. That's just silly. And I definitely don't think they build an egg and a light-bearing torch to worship anybody. Totally not. You guys know I just love to entertain you and create these fairy tales and stories of evil versus good that they don't really exist. I don't really believe in Satan and Lucifer and all the fallen angels.
Good timing, because we're out of time. It's going to end right now. That was God's timing.
Think about that for the next day.
Phil Iazetta. I'm John Mulrooney. We're going to pull up another one of these mañana. Recording is ending.